We go with tape 2, some more highlights of the summit. Let's get to it. The final thing we're going to cover is some trapping techniques, meaning you go in for your blast, the opponent puts his hands up, blocks, and then we have to go from there. We're going to cover a couple series of traps that give you the mechanics and the body movement at the same time as the trap. Okay, so the first thing is the high-low high. So we're going to get stuck in this position. How we would get there would be he'd be blasting me, bang, hitting my face repeatedly, and I put a hand up. And then from there, that hand has to be trapped. Go ahead, boom, and then he can continue doing what he's doing. Okay? Most of the time, if you do this thing right, the hand never comes up. He's just flailing and the knee comes in. But once in a while, when it does come up, we got to know what to do. Okay? So from this position, when I get this energy, I'm going to, boom, first come in with that Pak Sao. Okay? Now when I Pak out, all he's going to do is just kind of back up a little bit and just pat it. Okay? So that's the first energy I want you to give is boom, you kind of back up and pat. Okay? So we're right here and it's boom. That's it. Right at this point, boom. Now freeze. Right there, bam, this low line's open. Right from here, boom, I get the high and the low again. Boom, here's my arm wrench because he put that out a little bit long. If it was a little bit more here, I would have went to this, which was my game plan. Boom. But I changed it because his energy went right to here. Okay? So, if we go back to the beginning, my first shot is, boom, I want to get the eyes. Okay? That's my shot. But when I go high, bam, I go low. Boom, high, low again. There's that arm. So real slow, it goes high, low, high, low, high. Okay? Let's try it. What's going on top of this mountain? We're the only people in the world doing this way. Okay? I hope you can appreciate how special you are. And it ain't from me. I ain't shit. I'm just a conduit. This comes from Dan. Okay. Ready? And begin. original versus concepts. Stop the madness. Please, tell me, if someone were to headbutt you and you're lying on the ground, bleeding profusely, shaking, doing the chicken, was that an original headbutt or a concept headbutt? You see, the very essence of Jeet Kune Do lies in the fact that it is alive and it continues to grow. All Dan Inosanto is doing is the process by which he and Bruce started in 1964. He is continuing the art of Jeet Kune Do by adding things to improve it. Adding kali, destructions, headbutts, elbows, biting, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Can you honestly tell me that JKD would be better without those things? Okay, number 1 is here. When you lose the foot, foot back, you turn outside and you straighten this leg out of the way and put your knee on the ground. Come on top of me like you're gonna pull. And I might as well show you number 3. Number 3, the same thing. You lose the foot, but now you move your butt closer to them, push the foot away, and come over top with your foot. Like this. Make sure your foot hooks underneath. Let's change the angle on this. Come over here, please.
That was a long way there, brother.
Blew out economy motion, didn't I?
Okay, I lose the foot. As I lose the foot, though, what's going to determine which way I turn, whether I go outside or inside, is the way he turns. So if he turns this way, I push his foot over, push his foot away, and hook my foot underneath. As I hook my foot underneath, I want to take my other foot and put it right next to it. Everybody stand up so you can see this. Don't get in the camera angle. Now from here, I squeeze my knees together. Apply the proper mechanics with the foot. And take a look at this position right here. I have all of this movement. This is a personal favorite of mine, number 3. Can't always get to it, but I try to. So number 1 is here. Number 2, I lift the foot, I go to here. Number 3, on number 3, you have to move your butt closer. You have to move your butt closer to get their leg to bend. If you keep your butt away from them, you end up doing this. As you can see, my foot's not long enough. My leg's not long enough, and your leg won't be long enough. So you need to move your butt closer to them, push the leg away, and then hook underneath. Put your foot next to it, squeeze your knees together. Okay. So from here, you got all 4 footlocks, whatever it is you want to go to.
From that control, would you put them on there, or would you get the lock first and then work the control?
What I like to do is first, I will always go to control.
Okay.
You know, and then I have to go get me a sandwich and something to drink and go ahead and escape.
Cold beer.
Yeah.
Tell me a story.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, then you can work any lock you want.
Yeah.
And you said you could do that
It
one the
gives
other
you
way.
the time. What's that?
That third one you could do going the other way too if he turned that way.
Second variation.
No, that's number 2. Number 2. Try not to do this. You see this in shoot wrestling. Try not to put your leg over like this. You open yourself up to another world.
Roy, would you show that other world? She's showing the knee lock. If they fucked that up. Is that what you were talking about?
No. I'm just talking about when you do this. Take my...
He stands up over that way and do that. Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, it's just, let me do what I mean. So, when he takes my foot and does this, you just open yourself up to another of footlocks. Okay? Don't put your leg over this way. Put your leg over this way. Okay? Do you see how
now that we focused on the submission stuff, and we can even do that with the positional stuff, but do you see how when we focused on the submission stuff, there's all these little intricate details?
Yeah.
Put your elbow here, put your hand here, move your hip this way, do this, do that. A lot of stuff. All those little things add up to an easy game. All those little things add up to what you saw earlier today with me going at it with the people I went at it with slow. It's the little stuff. Remember I talked about my game becoming a game of millimeters? Yeah. I'm going to show you two more things, two more locks. One's going to be on the knee, and the other one's going to be on the hip. And then we're going to add a little Vunak flavor to this whole matrix. So, since you're here, why don't you come on this side? Okay, from this same hole that we're into right here, okay, we're going to take a knee, and we're also going to take their hip. Okay? When you get to here, some people think that if they can, especially as you're going for the heel hook, if they grab your arm, they can prevent you from making them tap. Go ahead, grab my arm, pull it, get my arm free. Get your, yeah, that's it, It's almost like, hey, I love you too. You pull them close, and you straighten your right leg up.
Well, that's good.
So as you come here like this, and they go to pull your hand free, it's like, hey, I appreciate your, whatever. So you pull them closer to you. You need to get them close to you. If you have a gi, all the better. You just grab the gi like this and pull. So you come here, you hooked underneath. This foot is next to it, and you're about to take the heel hook, but they get brainy on you and grab your arm. So you sit up, pull them close to you, and straighten out your right leg.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? Just like this. Go easy on this. Okay, we're right here. Now sometimes what happens is as you do this, or as you're going for the foot lock, you lose the foot. As you lose the foot and it goes on the other side of the body, you take one hand, this is the right hand, you grab the inside of their foot, inside top of their foot, and you grab the outside back of their foot. I want you to pull with your right hand, push with your left hand, and move your butt. As you get to here, you put the side of their foot against the side of your head, squeeze your knees together, and arch, just like an arm lock. Okay? Like this, and you lose it. Sometimes I don't even lose it, I just will give it up. Push it to this side and come like this. Move your hip away and turn the foot this way. You need to use their toe as an index. Point it behind you and put the side of your foot, the side of your head against either the outside or the inside of their foot. You actually get a little better result if you lift up and put it on the inside. On this side. So it goes over top. I have the
Movie star.
the movie star. Okay, come to here. Lose it. This comes this way. I take one. This hand goes this side. This hand comes here. And as I twist, I move my hip. Because what you need to do is you need to put the kneecap on your stomach.
So you got to give him room to turn the knee into you.
Mm-hmm. This toe, wherever this toe points, generally the kneecap will follow if you give it space. So I'm turning this way to put the kneecap on my stomach, and I'm going to hug and take a knee lock. However, sometimes when you do this, they twist on you. That's why I recommend coming this way, because now there's no twist. Twist to your right. Can't twist. Squeeze your knees together, and I haven't even started to raise my hips yet. In addition to that, if I push down on this, he feels a little bit of pressure on the inside of his knee. I squeeze.
Push down where?
Push down with my head on his toe.
Okay.
Like this. Hug, squeeze the knees together. So we got this whole footlock series that we do. 1 from here, grab my arm. 2, you come to here and take the hip wrench. 3, you come this way.
And if you bite right here, that's kinamuto. You have this person right here, okay? You've got the neck. You've obviously worked very hard to get there. You're a 50th of a second away from winning the fight, okay? Whoop. Clap your hands before I can beat him, okay? Just get there and go, bam, just like that, okay? When you see me making my first move, oh, too late. Just do it again, please, okay? So when you see me making my first move, that will win the fight, okay? Do you ever have a scratch in your eye?
Yeah.
Try to continue. A little grain of sand in your eye? Forget it, okay? So we're right here, that far away, boom, bang, that far away. This is sacrilege. Okay? You don't go backward. Let this guy hit your body. Let him think that while you get your thumbs in his eyes and your knee in his balls and the top of your head a microsecond away from his face. Okay? Let this person be the one that cocks back and tries to somehow get enough power to knock you out while you're doing that. Okay? That's the deal. That's how you win a fight.
No.
Jeez Louise, okay. Boom!
Oh, then I got it.
What? Oh, we saw it. Anytime we got the neck, boom. Boop. That's it, boop. That's all I need to do. If it goes boom, 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 how many eye shots did I get? When I went from here, boop, 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 that's 4 eye shots. And well, that's going on, boom. Everything is flying at once. This man's got to defend a lot of shit. So in addition to being talented, we have to also be street smart. We have to be able to make decisions in a split second. And there's only one way we can do that. We have to completely desensitize ourselves from all emotions. You cannot be emotional. There is no emotion that is conducive to winning a fight. None. Anger is the worst. You have to desensitize yourself. You don't care. You have no prejudice. It doesn't matter to you if you have to stick fight, or if you have to knife fight, or if you have to ground fight. And what happens in a fight, and I've seen this happen, I've been a part of it, 2 people might be doing great, and all of a sudden something changes. It might be 2-on-1, and all of a sudden it goes to 3-on-2. Or one guy's got a cue stick in his hand, he's doing great, and all of a sudden he loses his cue. And he sits there like, or they'll be standing up and fighting, and all of a sudden they'll end up on the ground. And when this kind of thing happens, it throws people for a loop, because it's not your way. Okay? What do? I'm a boxer. Well, what do you do on the ground? Fuck, I panic. So I'm telling you to do all of it. And not only do all of it, train it all in one flow. What happens if he grabs your knee? Okay? Hey, come on over here, Tiny. So I'm kneeing here, bam, and he grabs that knee, okay? Well, guess where I'm at? I'm right back in my position. So all I'm trying to say is, be careful if he grabs your knee, but if he does grab your knee, jump up and go right to the bite. And if I could take 2, we don't, well, maybe we do. Where's Brian? Brian? Okay, tomorrow I'm going to arrange it so we have a couple steaks, okay? And I'm going to slap the steaks right on here. This is how we train Kina Muay Thai. I'm serious. I'm dead serious, okay? And we're going to count how long it takes for me to bite a hole through the steaks before he slams me, okay? You'll see. You'll see what I mean. That's what Kina Muay Thai is. I can't explain to you guys anymore how vicious this art is, okay? I can't in a million years. And that's what we do when we're on the ground. And all the Jiu-Jitsu does is put us in a better position to bite and eye gouge. That's all it does. And if an arm lock, a choke, a foot lock, or whatever happens to be there, then it happens to be there. You ask Dan in Asano, what is your way? He's going to go, I don't really have a way. I'm a martial artist, but I don't have a way. Well, what's going to happen if you have to stick fight? Well, I'll stick fight. Well, what if you have to knife fight? Well, then I'll knife fight. Okay? So the whole idea is, if you guys want to be on the cutting edge of what's going on in the world, as far as I'm concerned, you have to do it all. Because you need to put them together. You might have to go Kali, Wing Chun, Jiu-Jitsu, Kinamotai, boom. Back to weaponry, grab a bottle, knife fighting. It's got to be all a flow. And if you can't flow, and you have these classes compartmentalized, you're going to be a jack of all trades. You're going to be half-assed at each one of those things. Conversely, if you put all of that together, and you let the Kali destruction help the blast, and the blast help the Tai Chi, like we talked about earlier, now you have one art helping the other, helping the other. There's a synergy. Total antithesis of being a jack of all trades. Do you see the difference? One art helps the other. So you got to blend all these together. Let's see if that works again. Don't change what you guys are doing. That was sweet. And don't go any faster, okay? Go ahead. Focus what's going on. Just blasted his way into here. They're in a fight. Count what's going on. The elbows, knees, headbutts. Boom, boom. And that's very nice. I promise you, you're going to get there in the fight, and I promise you, if you train 100 hours doing that, you're going to win in the fight. Sorry, it's not that difficult. Position where trapping's out.
Well,
If I'm standing up,
this position, where they go to here.
just stay there. Do it. This is trapping's out here. My knee and the balls
No,
is out.
but they're doing the same thing you're doing. So are you going to try to play that game with them, fight this game up here, or are you going to...
Yeah, this is trapping.
Okay.
This is my game. It's a... Oh, yeah. That's my game. To me, the greatest gift that I will ever get out of martial arts is when I'm 70, 80, 90 years old, and I still have students. I'm still training. I'm still on the mat rolling around. Now, you can't do this if you don't mix your self-perfection with your self-preservation. If all you do is self-preservation all the time, for example, like a boxer, you're going to burn out at 30, 40 years old. On the other hand, if you mix your perfection with your preservation, you can be like an Elio Gracie or a John Lacoste. You can be in your 80s and your 90s and still be playing, still be out there like a kid.
I'd like to show you the 3 most common ways to escape the mount when you're dealing with somebody who's bigger and stronger, or you're dealing with somebody who is equally or even more experienced than you are. The 3 most common ways. And these are the 3 ways that I use to escape all the time. All the time. I used them yesterday when I was out here rolling on the mat. I use them all the time. They all revolve around elbow knee escape. They all revolve around elbow knee escape. Upa is hard to get on somebody who has a good strong base and is aware of Upa. Upa is just simply trapping a person's arm, trapping their foot, and raising your hips and going up and over. Let's demonstrate that one. So this is nothing more than Upa, trapping the arm, trapping the foot, and using your hips to raise their hips up and go up and over. For people who are experienced, that's kind of difficult at times. So let me show you something that's that I've used most of the time, and I've seen many of my students, and in watching the different Jiu-Jitsu competition tapes that I've seen, these are the 3 most common ones that I see. The first one is called the, put your hands here, it's called the basic elbow knee escape. You take your right hand, and I want you to grab their shorts so that your right forearm is at the bend of their body. I want you to take your left elbow and put it inside their thigh, in between the side of your body and their knee. Now, if you feel like you can't do it from here, you move your head and shoulders away, and then you put it in there. From here, bring your feet to your buttocks, raise your hips straight up, and on the way down, you turn onto your side. Form at the bend of the body, your left elbow goes inside their right thigh, raise your hips straight up, turn onto your left side, and keep your left elbow here, your right elbow here. Bring your feet to your buttocks, you move your butt to your right, and you push with both of your elbows to your left. Just enough to create space so that you can clear this knee. Now that you've got this knee freed, I want you to let go with your left hand and put your left forearm under their neck. Your right hand or elbow will go against their knee, depending on how far away from that knee you are. Sometimes you need to use your elbow, sometimes you need to use your hand. But from here, I'm going to take the inside of my thigh, push my knee into him, and move my hip to the left. Bring my other knee up, my right knee up, push my knee into him, and put him into my guard. It's a lot of moves, but the thing about this is it's actually physically a lot easier than Upa. Get your arms in posture, right forearm, left elbow, raise your hips up, turn onto your side. Push to your left with both of your elbows and move your hip to the right. Get your bottom knee free. Push your knee into him, forearm under the neck. Move your hip, sometimes 2 or 3 times to your left. Get your right knee free. And then from here, it's just simply a matter of putting him into your guard. This is the first one. Let me have you get about 6 or 7 reps on each side, right side and left side, and then we'll move on to number 2. Let's go. I'm going to finish up here with numbers 2 and number 3 because they're very closely related to each other. And then I'm going to open it up to questions. You have questions? Gary? Okay, the first way I showed you to escape is the basic elbow knee escape. Number 2 is called the cheat, because you're going to cheat that first hip movement. Instead of having to drive your hip up and create space, you're going to create space by small little subtle movements. Still put this right forearm at the bend of the body, but now for the cheat, you don't put this elbow inside, you put it on top of the knee. I'm going to take the lower half of my body and tilt it to my left and take my left knee and put it flat on the ground. I give a little push until I feel his ankle somewhere down around my knee, and I bring my knee up. Once I get to the point where either his knee or his ankle comes off the ground, I push with my elbow. Now my leg is free and I can finish with the other half of elbow knee escape. Again. Right forearm at the bend of the body, left elbow on top of his knee. Turn the lower half of my body to the left, just the lower half. Don't turn your upper body, okay? Just the lower half. Push this down until you feel his foot, his ankle near your knee, and keep your knee on the ground and push this out. Some people lift their ankle, some people lift their knee. Doesn't matter which one, as soon as you feel something go off of the ground, you push and get your leg free. Now you put your foot on the ground. As you transition to your left forearm on the neck and your right hand or right elbow on the knee, I want you to push with the inside of your left thigh. Watch my left thigh. It's like this, push. And push with the inside of your thigh. Move your hip to the side and clear your knee. That's number 2, called the cheat. Number 3, same movements of the cheat. Push this down, I get this to here, and I push out just a little bit. And then I'm going to take my right foot, put it on top of my right toe, and put it on top of the inside of my thigh, near my knee. As I continue to drive my right toe to the ground, I bring my left knee back. It helps me to get underneath his instep. I lift up with the foot and push with my knee. Push with my elbow, I'm sorry. So the same basic movements until I get just a few inches. You don't want to push it, especially if somebody has good hip flexibility, you don't want to push it all the way out to here, because now you can't reach it with your foot. So all you need to do is push it out just a little bit, put your foot on top to prepare it, and then slide your knee back and go underneath. Bring your foot underneath, your toes come up, and push and lift. Same maneuver. One last time. Okay, so number 1 is the basic elbow knee escape. Number 2 is the cheat. And number 3, you start out with the cheating motions and you hook your foot and lift it. Number 3 is called the foot lift. In this world, in order to get something, you got to give something. So there's no move that I can show you or that any other person can show you that's not going to expose something else. Okay, there are no end-all moves. There are none. Each move has the potential to end it, but just because you do it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to end it. So, somebody's got a real active guard, you stand up. Yes, it does make you vulnerable to the sweep, but it makes you less vulnerable, especially with your arm positioning, good arm positioning, it makes you less vulnerable to arm locks and chokes. From when you stand up, after you stand up, you put one side forward and one side back. I'm only going to give him one foot. And now from here, do something. I don't care what you do. I never gave up my base. Because of the position that you put yourself in, my main concern was you taking my knee. So I had to make sure and grab onto that leg so that he didn't take it to me, so he didn't throw his leg over and get me a knee lock. But you stand up and you get your base, and now you start to work on one knee. The open guard is very complex because it changes where they put their hip, where they put their foot. Where they put their foot on your hip, your chest, your shoulder, your bicep. They grab your arm. Best thing I can just recommend is standing up and passing from standing with one leg forward, like this. And if it takes you forever to pass, it's okay. People with active guards, I like to take their foot. Oh, wait one second, let me finish. I like to take their foot. You know why? Because people with real active guards like this, they're just saying, here it is, there it was, here it is, there it is. As soon as I grab it once, this happens. And this is much easier to pass than this is. So, one more time, please. Yep. So I stand up and I do this, do something. I think here. Oh, gonna give me a knee lock. I don't think so. Just let me pass. So once I get stand up, once I get to here like this. Oh, thank you. Let's say I miss it the first time. He's gonna think about that the next time, and they're gonna pull their legs in. Passing the guard is a difficult skill. Amen, Brother McVicker? Yeah, it's a difficult skill. but it's one you need to spend a lot of time on.
When you're mounted, is the most barbaric bite a human being can do is when someone's mounted on you and they're hugging you and they've got their hooks in and their weight and their hips are down and they're just biting your face. It's a sickening feeling. Okay?
Yeah.
Question?
I was just wondering, when you had the cross side, you had the shoulder dug into the chin, which prevented their bite. But when we were doing it and we got to the mount, it seemed like if I was biting, he had the opportunity to bite as well.
Start all over again? Are you talking about this cross side or the mount?
After you go up to the knee mount and then you take mount and you pull
Come to me. Now find me the position that you're speaking of.
Okay. Well, if I had you mounted and I went.
You're mounted on me?
Right after the knee mount.
Okay. And now you're just gonna hug my neck, come down here, hug my neck, and start biting, but you gotta squeeze this. Okay, I see. You're worried that I'm gonna bite you?
Right.
Okay, roll around. See, when you have the hooks in here, okay, bite. Okay, let's go into the camera. Okay, bite. No. Okay? Good.
Thanks.
Any more questions? Now that we're 2 tapes in, you should have a good feel for how things are going. Hopefully you should see that you missed quite a bit at our event. What I'd like you to do is come on back in for tape 3 and we'll get rolling.